Okay, so now that we're recording, I know I did a video quite a freaking while ago. Sorry, my work schedule's been hectic, and I know because I think Kevin was asking me about a bunch of random crazy stuff. So I'm going to try and get used to um, doing something once every couple of weeks. If you guys have any questions, my name is Matt. For people who don't know me, I know Pat and a few other people, and Logan, of course, and I don't know Kevin personally, but he seems like a damn cool dude. This is basically updated, super awesome everyday carry. Along with, I'm going to go into my go bag, and well, not my go bag, the messenger bag that I carry with me just about every day. So we'll go nice and easy. Let's start off with, of course, everyone's favorite, weapon choices. Everybody likes their own gun. I go with Glocks mainly because they're built like freaking tanks. Some people like Smith & Wessons. They're great. I've shot them. I used to talk shit about them left, right, and center. And then I actually got to fire one at a competition because my Glock actually was acting really, really funny, and it was a night shoot. So I got to shoot a Smith & Wesson 9, and I got to shoot a Springfield XD9. Sorry about the lighting. My little corner here for all my guns really sucks as far as night goes. But I had to fire a Smith & Wesson. Everything was awesome except for it really, really had a squishy trigger. The front serrations on the gun made it really, really simple to press check and everything like that. But I just didn't really like the squish of the trigger. It really felt funny to me. It was, however, a fucking nail driver as far as accuracy goes. On point with just about anything that I fired before. Springfield XD performed phenomenally. Phenomenally. The only thing I don't like about it is basically they tried to buy the patent from the company that originated it. The company said no, so they just bought the company outright. It was a Yugoslavian company called Americana, I believe is what it was. I've only seen a couple of them. You really can't find them, but it's literally the exact same thing as a Springfield XD minus the Springfield logos. However, Springfield XDs were rocking. Actually, the guy was like, looked at me after we got done with the stage, and the guy was like, dude, you rocked my gun harder than I did. And I'm like, well, I'm used to a 40 cal. A 9mm really doesn't kick as much. It was way easier to control. For the guys that have shot multiple calibers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're used to a 45 and you go to a 22, it's like you can almost fire it like with your pinky, like dink dink. Everything's peachy. My current concealed carry of choice is a Glock 27. Love my 40 cals. Even for something this small, a lot of people go, you know, when you start getting into bigger bullets, recoil management becomes a huge issue. Especially like if you get like a subcompact 45, those things hurt. Car has a 9mm little mini slimline thing. That thing beats the shit out of your hand, but they all serve a purpose. Very easy to conceal. And at that point, you're not looking for a fun gun to shoot. You're looking for a gun that can get you from point A to point B when shit goes south. So, Glock 27. I did upgrade it to a Lone Wolf match grade barrel, mainly because after reading a whole bunch of reviews and dealing with their departments, I've called a couple of their guys because they had quality control issues and they were having a lot of bad barrels go out, which they've got great warranties and they replaced them all, but it's still, you don't want to mess around with people that don't put out good products. So I called a couple of their guys and I was like, hey, I know you had all these problems, have they been fixed? How is your quality control now? And they were really, really forthcoming and they were very nice and easy to deal with, which I'm a huge fan of people like that, which I'll get to that later, with places like Rogue Dynamics, HSGI. Those two guys are really easy to deal with, but I'll play with that in a little bit. I did upgrade, like I said, to a Lone Wolf match grade barrel. It did come with Trijicon Dayglow, or it's got like a Dayglow, and then it has like the little green dot that, and you're not going to be able to see it at all, but you can kind of see the line in the green dot. That is super easy to get on target during the day, and at night you've got the nice little, green spot. So, I mean, point shooting becomes a fucking snap because you know exactly, point shooting is more, you get your body in line and you get your stance in line, but with the little green dot, whereabouts you're going to be at, even when you're dropping rounds on target like it's nothing. Even with a smaller barrel, it's still retardedly accurate. I've never had a problem with Glocks. I bought my first Glock 3 or 4 years ago. Literally grabbed it out of the box because everybody had just talked it up left, right, and center. Grabbed it out of the box, didn't lube it, didn't clean it, did nothing. Threw about 500 rounds out of it, wholeheartedly expecting it to explode, because I'm not nice with toys under any circumstances. If you're buying a gun to be pretty with it, don't waste your money. If you're buying a gun that you just want to set on a shelf, if it's not a commemorative piece, if it's not a family heirloom, if it doesn't mean anything to you, you're wasting your money. Buy something that you don't mind throwing in the dirt, which I have thrown every part of my Glock 22 or 23 in the dirt, because the guy was talking smack about them on the range. Oh, those things are plastic and they won't stand up and everything like this. So I literally ripped it all apart, threw the barrel in the dirt, threw the slide in the dirt, recoil spring in the dirt, kicked it around, knocked it around, did the whole 9 yards, put it all back together, slapped the mag in, and was like, oh yeah, total piece of shit. I'm really glad you set me straight there, buddy. But I'm generally an asshole like that. So yes, nice, compact, accurate, definitely does the job there. I did do a little bit of work on the magazines themselves. They come 9-round standard. You can get the Glock plus 2, which it gives you 2 more bullets. Actually, 1 more bullet with a 40 cal, 2 more with a 9mm. So now they're 10-round magazines, which 10 rounds on a small gun, still pretty damn good. Plus, for us assholes with big hands, let's make sure you can see that. It gives you a little extra nub for your hands. So now I can get a full grip and I don't have to worry about my pinky hanging off. And when I actually get into my, into my stance, it's nice and solid. But I got, bigger goofy hands, so that works for me. Now, a lot of guys rock outside the waistband. Some guys rock inside the waistband. Everybody and their brother does Kydex. There's a million videos on the internet to do it yourself and this, that, and the other thing. However, my nice little Raven concealment inside the waistband with the little flaps and everything. It's nice. It's pretty. Yes, it's expensive. However, the guys at Raven are always awesome. I've dealt with them since their website went live. Yeah, I like emailing people and I like to talk to people on the phone and just get their opinions on different things like that. The first Raven concealment holster I bought, I literally jumped up and around on the thing, scratched it, threw it in the garbage. I didn't run it over with the car. Kind of wanted to, but I was kind of afraid I was going to break it at that point. But they really do stand up very well. And yes, everybody and their brother is trying to make the next biggest, baddest Kydex holster. However, I would trust my life with Raven concealment. And with concealed carry, you pretty much get what you pay for. If you're buying a $10 holster, don't expect it to last long. I've broken holsters before. Luckily, it was in training or at the range, and not, I'm out with my girlfriend and some guy just put a gun in my face. Because at that point, I would have been dead. So that's why I would definitely trust Raven concealment stuff. It's nice, it's compact. I'm a little bit of a fat kid, so like appendix carry for me does not work. My gut does not get along with firearms. Yes, I need a bit of a gut. So I do wear it on the hip, or I kind of wear it at the 5 o'clock position. Really comfortable, even for a fat kid like me. So I'm definitely a fan. So this is my everyday carry gun. Next, we'll get into flashlights. I said it before, I'll say it again. Surefire, you get what you pay for. This is about $195 depending on where you actually purchase it from. It's got a lovely little strike bezel on it. As you can see, I have actually hit people with this. You occasionally get into scenarios where sometimes pulling a pocket knife is overkill, and this kind of can act like a roll of quarters, as well as, and this is probably going to break my camera, but as well as a flat-out 200 lumen blinding tool, which I have caught guys. I used to bounce quite often. 33 tussling with 22-year-olds. If anybody has done that, it's not fun. They really have a lot of energy. They don't feel as much pain as we do, and the next morning they're going to wake up feeling like nothing hit them, whereas we're going to be putting ice on our shoulders and dropping Advil like to candy. So having something that'll put them off by either hitting them, blinding them in the eyes, you know, giving you a little extra oomph on a punch, or actually physically being able to strike someone. While this isn't a lethal reaction, the cuts are ridiculous. I mean, the wound pattern on it is just dirty. And it's definitely one of those, you know, you do not want to tussle with me in a dark alley, buddy. And, you know, even at 22, most kids like that kind of get the sense of, oh, wow, this old man just fucked my world up. So this is what I always carry with me. Yes, it's now I've got, you know, a gun, 2 mags. I always carry 2 mags on me. Will I ever need 20 bullets in a gunfight? No. Logistics and statistics say not going to happen. However, I'll tell you what, if the day ever comes where I need those 20 bullets, I'm going to want those 20 bullets to be there, either to get me or my loved ones out, or protect me, or protect the people that I'm, you know, standing in front of. You know, I was in the military. That's kind of what we do. You know, we sign ourselves on a dotted line to stand in front of the people who don't want to fight, whether it's a positive choice or they're just incapable of doing so, and those people exist. So I like my 20 bullets. I did kind of grab a little $9 red light dinky. It kind of dulls the brightness out a lot, but if you're just like using it to read stuff at night, you don't want it. I mean, if you put this on a white sheet of paper in darkness, it's going to hurt your eyes. So, you know, having a little color filter over it isn't bad. So I always toss that on, you know, if I know I'm not going to be doing anything, because again, it's still, you know, I still got to roll quarters, I'm still hitting somebody with something solid, still going to definitely make them think twice about actually tussling. Hopefully. I always say hopefully. Yeah, not on to Gibbs rules yet. This is a it's by Tough Products. You can look them up online. It's called a Tough Writer or Tough Pen. It is basically a lovely little tactical pen that does not have spines or goofy things, or doesn't say Black Hawk or tactical pen or anything flashy. It is just flat black, knurled grip. It's got a space pen inside, so it can write, you know, on pretty much any surface at any angle. And it has a really, really nice strike point to it, and it stays nice when you hit things with it. I got a 2x4 and a 2x6 out in the garage that I will occasionally just grab just to see how fast I can get it off my collar or my shirt or something like that, and hit something, and I've left some decent welts. Even with bare hands, it stays put. It's about $100. Nothing's cheap. You can watch their videos online. They put it in a press and they punch it through a 6 or 8 inch tree trunk, and the threads still stay intact. So it's definitely a product worth investing in. A lot of people cringe at pricing when they look at some of this stuff, and they're like, wow, you know, that's really expensive. But I kind of look at it as, well, my life is definitely worth more than $100. I got shit to do. I got a cat that needs to get fed occasionally, and the dog, you know, if I didn't let the dog out in the morning, my house would smell like pee. So, you know, definitely well worth $100. Gibbs rule number 9. Never leave home without a pocket knife. Ever. 99% of the time, it's going to be utilitarian. You're not going to end up like knife fighting in a back alley unless you're very confident and you're not afraid to get cut. I know guys that are very well versed in knife fighting, and they still don't like getting cut. I don't like getting cut. It's not fun. However, last ditch effort, pull out a nice little folder. I like folders for everyday carry over fixed blades, mainly because of the profile more so than anything else. 90% of concealed carry is concealed. You don't need to wear your gun on your forehead and advertise, I'm the baddest motherfucker in the group. I'm assuming most of us are above the age of 30. I believe Pat is. He's got more gray hair than I do. If he doesn't, you know, if he's not above 30, there's an issue. You know, once you hit about 30 years old, you stop feeling, or you should stop feeling the need to have to prove that you were the baddest man on the face of the planet. You can go out in flip-flops and a t-shirt and still know that you're dangerous. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So this specifically is called the Folding Razel, Columbia River Knife and Tool. Yeah, I believe it's Columbia River. CRKT, Cricket, whatever you want to call it. Really wonky. I found this at one of my little local shops. It has a tool tip that's nice and sharp, and the pocket clip on it, if you can kind of see right here, that's actually the pocket clip, so it actually seats further down in your pocket, whether it's up front or anything like that. Yes, it's a little hard to grab quickly, but again, you know, 90% of concealed carry is concealed. You see all these idiots running around with their buck knives sticking out or their little knife sheath and everything like that. And if that's how they choose to carry, that's fine. But, you know, I can hear Velcro at about half a mile if I'm really paying attention. So do you want to be nice and quiet, or do you want to hear when you pull out your little buck knife? Hey, buddy! You know, it's up to you. So that's that. This was $27. It was by far the cheapest Columbia River that I've ever bought. They're normally $45 or $50. This was $27. I don't know if that was just an introductory price or not, but it's twice as heavy as most of them. It is a really solid knife. I haven't even gotten to my wallet. This video is going to take me forever and a day. So let's move on. The next little tool, I don't know if many of you go into places where you can't legally concealed carry. It's your choice whether you choose to ignore that sign or not, depending on your personal beliefs and threat levels. Personally, depending on the scenario and depending on the sign, I ignore them. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission in a lot of respects. I would rather... Basically, if it got into a situation where I had to defend the people that I was with at a location that said no concealed carry, I would be like, yep, I totally brought my gun when I shouldn't have. However, I just saved 30 people, so you can go ahead and charge me with a felony, because my conscience, you know, I use my conscience in a lot of things. My conscience would be definitely clear in that scenario, because criminals are more likely to hit places where they know their victims will be unarmed. But good, bad, ugly, or otherwise, I was on a college campus. That's one thing I just don't screw with. They have really strict things, and by don't screw with, take that as however you will. However, openly on my person, I carry more bladed objects than firearms. I'm just as dirty with a knife as I am with a gun. I'm more hesitant with a firearm than I am a cutting or a stabbing implement. So instead of my firearm on my hip, I put this little guy, the Ka-Bar TDI, TDY, can't remember. I saw it. It was shiny. I bought it. Military guys will understand shiny. This is the lovely little half-serrated dirty doodad, and you can't really see the scar on my knuckle, but I don't know how many of you follow the same dogma, but if I purchase a knife and it doesn't cut me within a month, I get rid of it. I probably have gone through 30 or 40 or 50 knives every, you know, I would say probably 45 out of 50 of them I've cut myself with in the first 30 days, and I'm like, oh, okay, you actually like me at this point, I'm going to keep you around. Personal thing, I'm Polish and Irish, a little goofy. Nobody said Marines were normal. But this also sits on my belt. Really nice, easy Kydex sheath. You can still make a fist with it, and you can still hurt somebody's feelings relatively thoroughly. It's got a decent weight to it. The grip leaves a little bit to be desired, but yeah, I can still deck somebody in the face and hurt them on the way out the door if I need to, like that. Or I don't necessarily condone doing that, because if you try and get your fists in the way, you're going to end up hurting yourself. This is what I would assume, fighting wise. This is more something you want sticking out the bottom of your fist, because you can still get your fists in the way. One of the big things I was taught in knife fighting, you don't necessarily have to slash or stab the other guy, but when he tries to punch you, kick you, hit you, all you've got to do is get the blade in the way, because if you have ever punched a sharp metal object on accident, I worked with sheet metal for a while, and you get pissed off and you slug something that has a nice sharp edge to it, and return with a very, very nice little gash, and you kind of feel like an idiot afterwards. Same concept, better implementation. Let me put my ashtray. So that's both knives, the pen, the gun. The other lovely little setup that I have, because I love my Glock 22, this is my first Kydex setup. I use it for more competition than anything else. Even outside the waistband, Raven concealment stuff holds very, very tight to the body. That was one of the first things that impressed me. is because even though I'm a fat kid, I do wear baggier clothing than normal, and you still got to worry about reaching up and having your gun stick out. So, but even with this, it holds it very nice and tight to the body. Again, Lone Wolf competition barrel, extended slide stop, different recoil spring. All the internal springs were changed over to the competition kit. It's got about a 3-pound trigger. Little bit of a race car. They don't recommend it for carry or law enforcement, mainly because I don't think they trust most people's judgment. If you train long enough with your gun, you could have a 40-pound recoil spring, or a 40-pound trigger spring, or a 40-pound pull on a trigger. If you know how to rock your gun, you're going to rock it one way or the other. If you're one of those where you buy the gun, you put it in a safe, loaded, and you hope you never have to pull it out, I feel very, very sorry for you, because when the time comes, you're going to piss yourself and not remember what the combination to your safe is, or where you put your gun, or if there was bullets in it. But again, the other reason why I like Glocks is I've done all my work. I got bored. I'm a little bit of a tinker gnome. I had one guy replace one part on my gun one time right in front of me, and I went, huh, it's that easy? And he said, yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm not charging you for it. I'm like, okay, cool. And I figured the rest out. I bought a little manual. I kind of read it a couple of times. The pictures were horrible, and I was just like, if I break it, it's my own damn fault. So I've pulled my guns apart, cleaned everything, replaced everything, and I don't pay a gunsmith for anything. We're sitting at 21 minutes and 45 seconds, so I think I'm going to cut it. The next video is going to be my wallet. Yes, my wallet. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, by all means, send me an email. This is going to go on the Facebook. It is a private link. Viewing it, commenting on it, and different things like that. Once it goes up on YouTube, yes, it'll still be on YouTube. However, it will not be searchable. It will be privatized only for people that I hand the link out to. So don't be afraid to comment on it. If you are, send me a message on Facebook. If we're not friends on Facebook, add me. If we're on the same group, which is the only group that I'm posting this to, I will be more apt to go, sure, we can be friends on Facebook. So thanks, guys. See you later.